Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most intriguing rumors to hit the Falcons universe in quite some time. Word on the street, and by street, I mean NFL. Calm sources, whispers, and murmurs is that the Atlanta Falcons might be eyeing a major upgrade along the offensive line. Specifically, they're looking at Creed Humphrey, the star center from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Creed Humphrey, the Chiefs' interior anchor, that's a bold move. And honestly, it is. But hear me out because this isn't just a splashy name, it's a strategic move that could really shape Atlanta's future this season and beyond. The chatter suggests that the Chiefs, currently sitting at a solid 7-2, are in a bit of a tight spot financially, with about $10 million in cap space. They're reportedly considering trading Humphrey, a player who's only 26 years old but already an established All-Pro, and a key piece of Kansas City's offensive line. The idea is to send him to Atlanta in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft, a move that has some skepticism from Kansas City's side, but also a lot of potential upside for the Falcons. The focus for the Chiefs seems to be shifting, especially after some whispers about Patrick Mahomes and their desire to bolster their wide receiver core. They're prioritizing WRs and perhaps see Humphrey as a piece that could be replaced, especially since Kansas City is facing some issues along their offensive line. Now, why would Atlanta be interested? Well, first off, our offensive line has been a work in progress this season. Injuries have hit us hard, and we could definitely use a player of Humphrey's caliber. He's not just any center, he's a guy who excels at both run blocking and pass protection, which is exactly what Arthur Smith's offense needs right now. Looking at his stats, Humphrey's 2025 season is nothing short of elite. 0 sacks allowed, a PFF grade of 94. One which puts him in the top tier of centers league-wide. His run-win rate is an impressive 87%, and he's got a positive EPA per run of plus 0.40. What really stands out is his ability to minimize pressures, having only 5 pressures allowed, which is among the lowest for centers in the league. His pre-snap intelligence is off the charts, with a grade of 95%, and he's been incredibly durable, with no major injuries in his career so far. To put it simply, Humphrey is the kind of player who can anchor your offensive line for years to come. And for the Falcons, that's huge. Our current center, who's been solid but not quite at Humphrey's level, would benefit immensely from such an upgrade. His addition would not only improve our run game but also give Desmond Ridder more confidence in the pocket. The stats show that Humphrey's presence could boost our EPA per play by about 17%, which is a significant jump, especially when you consider how crucial that is for maintaining drives and scoring points. Plus, Humphrey's leadership and football IQ are often compared to Jason Kelce, a guy who's been a cornerstone of the Eagles' offensive line for years. His experience, combined with his youth, makes him an ideal fit for Atlanta's aspirations to push deep into the playoffs. Now, there's a bit of a historical parallel here. You remember how Joe Thuney's trade to the Chiefs back in 2021 drastically improved their run game, adding about 170 rushing yards per game. Well, Humphrey could have a similar impact on the Falcons' interior line. With 2 of our offensive linemen currently out, adding a player like Humphrey would significantly shore up our protection, especially in the trenches. It's no secret that the ground game has struggled at times this season, with our rushing average dropping to around 4 or 5 yards per carry. Humphrey's presence could turn that around, creating more holes for Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier, and giving Desmond Ridder more time to make plays downfield. But let's not forget the defensive side. The Falcons' defense has been solid but not dominant, allowing around 22 points per game. Improving our offensive line with a player like Humphrey would help keep our defense off the field longer, giving our pass rushers more opportunities to get after the quarterback. It's a classic recipe for winning football: control the clock, dominate the trenches, and let your defense do the rest. Plus, the NFC South is shaping up to be a competitive division this year, and having an even stronger offensive line could be the difference in tight games down the stretch. Looking at the bigger picture, the odds for Atlanta making a serious playoff run have been climbing. Currently, the Falcons are sitting at 5-4, with a robust $105 million in cap space to maneuver. Adding Humphrey would not only be a short-term boost, but also a long-term move. His experience and leadership could help develop our young offensive linemen and set a strong foundation for the years ahead. The impact on the betting odds is interesting too. From plus 6,000 to plus 2,800 for a Super Bowl appearance, Humphrey's addition could be the X factor needed to push us over the edge. His pre-snap intelligence and ability to reduce pressures would align perfectly with Arthur Smith's emphasis on smart, disciplined football. It's a move that echoes the kind of smart, strategic thinking we've seen from successful teams over the years. Of course, there are skeptics. Kansas City's concerns about their offensive line's recent struggles, with a drop in ground game efficiency and allowing 22 points per game, suggest they're willing to part with Humphrey if the right deal comes along. The Chiefs might also be looking to rebuild or retool after a couple of tough seasons, especially with so many talented players competing for limited cap space. But for Atlanta, acquiring Humphrey isn't just about plugging a hole, it's about setting a tone for the rest of the season. It sends a message that we're serious about contending and willing to make bold moves to get there. Plus, the chemistry and leadership he could bring to the locker room would be invaluable. Looking ahead, the Falcons' chances of making a deep playoff run are looking better, especially if we can shore up our interior line and keep our offense clicking. Humphrey's addition would be a statement move, one that could define our season and perhaps even set us up for a long postseason run. The division is there for the taking, and with the right pieces, we could be the team everyone fears come January. The NFL is always unpredictable, but one thing is for sure. If Atlanta pulls off this trade, it could be a game changer not just for this season, but for the future of our franchise. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think bringing Creed Humphrey to Atlanta is the move we need to push us over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons organization. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news, because this season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and we want you right here with us every step of the way.